And welcome back, everyone, to round two of Shadow Keepers versus MG Blaze. This is game two of week three of Coalition League's Spring Split. I'm Random Minion Caster, and alongside me is still Adrit Luna. The two of us will still be casting the games for you here. How are you doing, Luna?
I'm excited to see if Shadowkeeper's going to be able to pull this one out and make this fair 1-1, or if it's just going to go to 2-0.
Yeah, they had a extremely rough game there in game one. MG Blaze closing out the game in spectacular fashion, excuse me, against Shadow Keepers here. But we'll have to see if Shadow Keepers can turn this around. Their pro draft for game two has been completed here. SK Shadow Keepers on the blue side this game. They will continue banning out the Shaco there. We'll ban out the Morgana this time and the Rek'Sai. There is what looks like a blank ban there. That is actually a Sejuani ban. So it's Shaco, Morgana, Rek'Sai, Sejuani, and Wukong banned for Shadow Keepers. On the side of MG Blaze, they are banning Thresh, Zac, Kindred, Ornn, and Shen. And for picks here, Shadow Keepers switching it up with their hook champions, going with a Blitzcrank instead. Caitlyn, Cassiopeia, Maokai, Nocturne. MG Blaze running Misfortune, Leona, Syndra, Jarvan, Olaf. So very different drafts for both teams here. And one thing to note for the players, on the side of SK here, Shadow Keepers, their top laner for this game is going to be Rinks instead of Neptune Rises, and their mid laner will be Yobro Amnasti instead of Rinks, who has moved to the top lane there.
I see. So I I gotta be real with you. I don't like Shadowkeeper's comp. Like it does not make a lick of sense to me. Like I don't like the Nocturne pick. Uh, Especially because like at that point that the Nocturne's picked, MG Blaze has already drafted so many things that are just better than Nocturne, and I don't understand it. Band wise, I like the bands. I like the Morg band because Morg was obviously a detriment to their early game. Uh, as you stated in game one, jokes on you is Shaco main, so they're outright just taking that off the table. That's respectable. He played really low in Rek'Sai, so they got rid of that. Uh, and then the Sejuani band's also really good. I don't know if jokes on you plays Wukong or if they're. I don't really understand the Wukong band since Shadowkeepers was the one that played Wukong last game, so I don't get that. Now for MG Blaze on the other hand, uh, it looks like they have relatively the same bands. I think the only thing they switched out was the Shin band, which I mean it's just great. They protect their 4-1 comp, which they still have. This time having uh jokes on you on Olaf as the option to be the guy who splits, whereas you have the core comp of MF, Leo, Syndra, and J4. So it's still a 4-1 comp. It's still really strong. Like, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to be that guy, but I think MG Blaze beat him already in draft. There, I said it. I'm going there.
And honestly, I mean, again, we're seeing the old MG Blaze, as you said, they're back to sort of that team fight composition, the core of MF Leona in the bot lane there, with a jungler, the Jarvan 4 here, who can sort of lock down the enemy team and keep them, in position for that damage coming out of the bot lane. And we are loaded onto Summoner's Rift here now. Dirty Hobo taking that Olaf into the top lane. Jokes on you taking Jarvan into the jungle here. And as you said, I too favor the draft here for MG Blaze. I'm not really quite sure what Shadowkeeper's composition is looking for here. They have a bit of a split comp. You've got the Blitzcrank, you've got Nocturne, very strong level 6 early to mid sort of game here, and then you've got Caitlyn, who falls off mid-game and comes back strong late. You've got Cassiopeia, who needs time to scale into the late game. You've got Maokai, who's a late-game monster, but early game not that strong. It's a bit all over the place. It's a balanced composition, but that may not be what you need against a team who's higher than you in the standings here. MG Blaze's composition, as you mentioned, very easy to understand. 4-1 split. Olaf splits on his own, does his own thing, and then the rest of the other 4 form a composition. Another thing to note, again, very interestingly, Zyra Ascent, who's previously focused very heavily on Vladimir Cassiopeia, picking up that Syndra once again. I guess possibly as a hard counter to the Cassiopeia there. Not quite sure which, but either way, Zyra Ascent is now playing 2 straight games of Syndra here. Now in the early game, both teams are setting up 5-point defense here. A little poke down from Dirty Hobo onto Rinks, but really nothing that will stick into the lane. Both junglers opting to start on their red sides this game, which is completely opposite from game 1 here, where both started on their respective blue sides. And we do see on the side of MG Blaze, their bot lane will fake a leash, but there is actually a ward near their blue buff, so Shadowkeepers might have an idea there that perhaps they're not actually in that lane. And we see Jokes on You here starting aggressively, might be looking for that level 2 gank right out of the jungle. He took red buff and he's potentially going up. Rinks is aware of that. He is playing a bit careful here, not really playing aggressively, but we'll have to see whether or not that will be sufficient. And as we go on, nope, Jokes on You is going to force that gank. Not quite in range, but doesn't care anyways. He's waited there for long enough, and he wants his pound of flesh there. Will not be able to force the flash out of Rinks, but will get a little bit of poke down. Hopefully give Dirty Hobo a bit more lane dominance, as Hobo hits 2 before Rinks can.
And something very interesting that I want to point out is...
And a beautiful engage there. Level 2 ward box goes right in, lands onto Louisville Gent, gets really good damage off there.
So, Dirty Hobo, interestingly enough, has opted to take a smite instead of teleport.
Oh, that is very interesting. We don't know. And yet again, Wardbox going in. Lands a Zenith Blade yet again, and this time they will get the kill onto Louisville Gent. So that's first blood over to Wardbox again, taking kills whether he's on Leona or Morgana.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Like, I can understand making the Morg ban, but if you're blue side and you know that Leona is one of Wardbox's best champions, why are you going to leave Leona on the table as well and not take it in the first pick? Because if Shadowkeepers had Leona, it would be a detriment to MG Blaze, because Leona can disrupt that 4-1 comp really easily with the solar flare.
Yeah, and you know, that's a question that we won't really, I guess, get an answer to there. We're not sure what they were thinking during their pick ban phase there, but it has resulted in this really odd comp. Dirty Hobo getting lots of damage there. GTH flashing in, trying to get onto Dirty Hobo, but a flash out will keep Dirty Hobo safe. And as you mentioned, very interesting smite pick on Dirty Hobo there. Potentially just looking to be able to secure all the objectives, strength in getting objectives there. And Dirty Hobo will go down and flash out of Rinks to keep himself safe there. Beautiful twisted advance to start that off. Dirty Hobo overstaying in lane there, and that is a habit we've seen out of Dirty Hobo multiple times. He is aggression personified. Will just keep applying pressure even when he shouldn't sometimes.
I will say that because of his playstyle, oh, here we go.
A Zenith Blade onto non-stop Brain full up. He's taking lots of damage, but he will get the hook off onto Bubble Lift. Will eventually have to flash out to safety to keep himself alive, but they do get good damage onto Bubble Lift there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good play by Brain, finally getting a hook that he's been wanting to hit tonight.
Right, but unfortunately, even though he did land that hit, he was already engaged upon, so he had to be careful. Another beautiful hook through the minions. This time, can they get the kill? The Ignite goes down. They will get the kill onto Bubble Lift there, but it will unfortunately go over to Non-Stop Brain, who in exchange will also go down to MG Bubble Lift. So supports in the bot lane getting all the kills here.
Yeah, and in this case, I don't mind Leona getting fed, but Blitzcrank, uh, Caitlyn definitely needed that kill over Blitz. And I understand that it looks like it was the Ignite that finished it off, but that's still really unfortunate for Shadow Keepers.
At this point, I think Shadow Keepers will be happy to just take anything they can get right here. They have been struggling in their laning phase here. So I think that at least is signs of life, which is good for them. Top lane, we see the two top laners going at it. Unlike your typical two fat tanks going at it top lane, the Olaf here is spicing things up, going for constant aggression here, getting poking Rinks down very low, but Rinks does have his sustain built into the Maokai passive there, so will be able to sustain. Hopefully, maybe not. He twisted advances into Dirty Hobo, and I'm not sure that's what he wanted to do. Will go down to Dirty Hobo there, and meanwhile, on the side of MG Blaze, they are going to go for Dragon. A beautiful hook out from Nonstop Brain will drag Jokes on You out, but Jokes on You will just flag and drag right back in and secure that Drake. Now, Yobro Amnasi has to be careful. Zyra Ascends is looking for the pick, but will only just get some poke off. We see the teleport coming down from the top lane there, but bot lane's where the action's at. A Zenith Blade onto Nonstop Brain here. Can they follow up with the stun? They don't quite get the stun off. Now they do. A flash out from the bot lane, from both the bot laners of MG Blaze here, and they will pick off Nonstop Brain. Top lane, GTH started off the fight up there trying to get a pick on Dirty Hobo, but Dirty Hobo turns it around, kills GTH, and now Rings has to be careful. He's low on health, high on mana, but Dirty Hobo is running low on mana here. Can Rings get him? Maybe he can. It comes out to the last hit, and it's Dirty Hobo who gets the auto off to get the kill. Mid lane, a fight breaking out. Zyra Ascends and Yobro Amnasi going at it. All their spells being expended here. Zyra Ascends will go down. Yobro Amnasi surviving with slivers of health here. About 120 health by the end of it. Now, what's he going to do? Jokes on You aggressively going in the flag and drag there. We'll get him in there, and Jokes on You will be able to secure the kill with a flash going down really low. But kills across the map. What was that? A 4-for-1 on the side of MG Blaze here.
Yeah, that was crazy, and it won't stop.
No, they will not, as Nonstop Brain gets a hook, not quite enough to drag Warbox under turret, and he will pay in health for grabbing the Leona instead of the MF there. Nonstop Brain again taking a lot of damage, but now GTF sneaking in from behind here. Beautiful spell shield to stop the sun. Will that be enough? No, it will not. Well, kind of. He does get the kill on Warbox, but Bubble Lift will take down GTH. Bubble Lift now on his own, does not have any summoners here, and Nonstop Brain, Louisville Gent both chasing in, but he will be able to strut away to safety. Now Jokes on You has shown up. Nonstop Brain and Louisville Gent will have to be careful, will back off to safety. A 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Shadowkeeper's doing much better this game compared to last game where they were about 8-2 around this point. They're now 4-8, down a little bit, but top lane, Dirty Hobo just running Rings down. Just nothing he can do. Axe after axe, another 1-for-0 trade. Lots of action this game.
Yeah. So something I was going to say earlier before all the fighting just happened is I actually really like Dirty Hobo on Olaf because I feel Olaf fits Hobo's style perfectly. Because Hobo just likes to go in, right? Well, as Olaf gets lower in health, he gains more life steal, so he's just pseudo tanks that way. He's just like, come at me, man. Let's go.
Yeah,
and
Olaf
so
just
far that's gotten him killed.
And might get him killed again as the lights go up. Nocturne turning on the paranoia here. Tries to get the fear. Will get the fear. Dirty Hobo did not have Ragnarok available for that, so her Dirty Hobo will go down to Rings in the top lane there. As you said, you know, Olaf and aggression are pretty much synonymous here, but the problem is sometimes you got to be careful with that aggression. Didn't have his ult, will end up going down. Now Warbox just diving the turret here, does not care, gets the oh my goodness, gets all the stuns off onto Nonstop Brain, and Nonstop Brain will go out under his turret to the bullet time of Bubble Lift there.
And it's something that I want to point out in the difference between oh, great block there.
Bubble Lift eating the ace in the hole to keep Warbox safe. Warbox probably would have been safe anyways, and looks like they're just going to set up in that bush, see if Louisville Gent oversteps, but Louisville playing carefully, which is the right thing to do here against that absolute kill lane of MF Leona.
So a big difference between Louisville's MF from last game and Bubble Lift's MF
And
of
I'm
this
sorry
game.
to interrupt, but it looks like Louisville Gent was patient, but MG Blaze's bot lane was even more patient. They will get the damage off. A flash out from Louisville. Gent won't be able to keep him alive, but Non-Stop Brain looking to try and reverse that somewhere else. Ganking the mid lane, but there was nobody else there to back him up. The hook misses, and nothing will come of that ganked mid lane.
I don't know why. I don't know why Brain went there. I'm so confused right now. What is this game? What is life?
I'm really not sure, but MG Blaze is averaging a kill a minute, one of the highest kill per minute scores I think we've seen at in this league completely, and they're set to keep it up as Non-Stop Brain gets dope under turret. Once again, Wardbox tanking up turret shots. They traded off onto Bubble Lift, and that's 12 kills in just over 11 minutes. Wardbox is level 6, completely unable to hold his turret, and Dirty Hobo turning that to 13 kills. But now Bubble Lift getting caught out in the turret. A good roam from Yo Bro Amnasti will pincer him along with GTH to help there. So they will get the shutdown onto Caitlyn there. That's 3 more kills on the board. 6 to 13 at 11.5 minutes. First turret going down to MG Blaze in the top lane.
This game is insane. But so what I was saying is, in the previous game, Louisville Gent decided to go Dark Harvest on MF, while in this game, Bubble Lift went Press the Attack, which I like a lot more because it gives MF a better option for sustainability.
Definitely, and also looks like he's giving him a better trade in the extended fights there. Lethal Tempo able to help get a lot more damage out when you can get all those autos off, whereas the Dark Harvest is good for the occasional poke here. You can really see the difference in mindsets from the two bot lanes, and one thing that has happened while we were talking about the Masters there, Jokes on You managed to secure Shelly for the side of MG Blaze. So we'll have to see where it goes. It looks like they're starting to look for that bot lane now. There's only 2 plates left on that bot lane. Might not even need Shelly, but everybody's headed down there now. Shadowkeepers also sending their mid laner and jungler down to that bot lane, but they don't know they're sitting on a ward. Inferno Drake is up, and it looks like both teams are looking to contest with that. MG Bubble Lift sitting there, but a beautiful ultimate from Leona there to zone out most of the bot lane. Now Non-Stop Brain potentially getting caught out. He's in the midst of it. Bullet Time coming across will take him down. Yo Bro Amnasti is extremely low. Ward Box getting in, and Bubble Lift will be able to pick up that kill there. Now Dirty Hobo just training it down. Has popped his Ragnarok, is hunting GTH. Can GTH pop the Blast Cone? No, he cannot. Dirty Hobo popping the Blast Cone, but he's got Ragnarok on, so it won't move him anywhere. And he's not done yet. He's going to dive that tier 2 turret. Will hunt down Louisville Gent. That is an ace. Sorry, not quite an ace. Almost an ace for MG Blaze there. Ring's the only one alive, just taking that top lane. He will not maybe get a plate or 2 in exchange for the Inferno Drake in the bot lane. And it looks like we also have a disconnect here from Yo Bro Amnasti. So, and no pause. It looks like they aren't going to stop the game. They're going to try and play this out 4v5 on the side of Shadowkeepers here. A beautiful Maokai out to try and stop Dirty Hobo from killing him there. Dirty Hobo did not have his Ragnarok, and so will not be able to stop that. And that's all the tier 1 turrets down on the side of Shadowkeepers here. Shelly poised to get some damage off on the tier 2 turret. And a quick stun from Zyra Ascends almost takes down Non-Stop Brain. The Unleashed power comes out, but a good hook from Non-Stop Brain almost takes Zyra Ascends down from the turret, but instead will go down himself once again. 1-6-2 the scoreline there for Non-Stop Brain. He is not having a good 2 games here.
Not at all. And I'm curious as to why there wasn't a pause. I don't know if Yo Bro and Nasty just had connection issues, or I mean, with them still playing, it seems like maybe he just rage quit.
Potentially, we'll find out after this game. We have somebody looking into it, and we will let you know once we can confirm that. But Dirty Hobo top lane once again, aggression, but gets shut down by Non-Stop Brain this time. Non-Stop Brain is worth gold again. We see the collapse from the jungler GTH. Non-Stop Brain coming up to support Rings there. 7 to 18, and about half those kills, 3 of those kills coming from Dirty Hobo there, as he's just keeps overextending without enough vision, but the rest of his team making good on that. Non-Stop Brain here hooking Wardbox, but that's not who you want to hook. Will go down to Zyra Ascend there with an auto thrown in from Bubble Lift for an assist.
Yeah, I would like to point out though that if Brain didn't go up there, I'm pretty sure that Dirty Hobo would have won that 2v1 because he got both of them very low, and he has played the Rune King and a Black Cleaver,
Definitely
so
here.
he
MG
is
Blaze is
healing a
really
lot.
far ahead. Yeah, he could have definitely turned that on them. Looking at the gold here across the teams, there's 11,000 gold difference at 15 minutes. And if you look at the oh, hold on a second here. Louisville Gent getting caught out instantly goes down. The burst from Unleashed Power there on Zyra Ascent is huge. Now GTH has to be careful. Gets taken out by the electrocute damage from Zyra Ascent. Zyra Ascent on Syndra might not be an ADC, but he does have a lot of sustained damage as well as great burst there. He's got 7,400 gold compared to Yobram Nasty's 4,002. Top lane, 3,000 gold discrepancy. In the jungle, 900 gold discrepancy. Bot lane, 5,000, oh sorry, 4,500 gold discrepancy. Huge discrepancies across the board. And if Yobro Amnasti continues being disconnected, this could be the shortest game in the season thus far. Potentially a sub 20-minute game here as the inner turrets are going down across all the lanes here. Rinks getting caught out in his inner turret will go down quickly, and that is all 3 inner turrets down.
Yeah, this is a bloodbath.
And Dirty Hobo training down Louisville Gent again. Doesn't care, will dive the turret. Taking a lot of damage, but doesn't matter. He does pick up Louisville Gent, and now Nonstop Brain having to be careful here. The turret, however, is doing a lot of damage, but GTH turns off the light. Paranoia, he's in. But as you said, 1v2, Dirty Hobo does not give a damn. Just turns around and takes GTH out immediately. Will get Nonstop Brain. Now, can he survive the turret? No, he cannot. Will eventually go down to the turret there, but it doesn't matter. His team is cracking the inhibitor turrets. Top lane inhibitor turrets going down. Inhibitor itself is also going down. Mid lane, Zyra Ascends will maybe get that mid lane inhib. No, he's decided to join the rest of his team and push us straight onto the Nexus turrets here. Louisville Gent almost getting tagged by the stun. Will get tagged by Zenith Blade instead and just go instantly down to Zyra Ascends. Rings 2 following up by the Unleashed Power. Now GTH and Nonstop Brains, the only ones up trying to defend. But GTH is really squishy. Will go down. They will get jokes on you, but that's a 1-for-2 trade. A pseudo ace as Yobro Amnasti continues to remain disconnected from the game here. And it looks like it will be game over here as MG Blaze is pushing and taking the Nexus down. The time of the game will be 18 plus minutes. Definitely the shortest game on the books for the spring season here.
Oh wow, the Nexus exploded at 18 exactly.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's rough.
And it looked like at some point Yoberon Nessie reconnected because just before the Nexus exploded, it said that he left again. So I'm wondering if he got back in the game and was just chilling in Fountain so he doesn't get like a penalty from Riot later.
In a custom game, I don't. Sorry, we've received confirmation. Yeah, it looks like Yobram Nasty rage quit. That's why his team didn't pause and decided to try and play the game out instead. So definitely kudos to the side of Shadow Keepers, the remaining players, Rinks, GTH, Louisville Gent, and Nonstop Brain for playing that game out there. They did a really admirable job considering how far they were down and that they were 4v5. They still managed to get picks there. Still, tried to stall the game out. So definitely kudos to them.
Yeah, it was definitely a good attempt. I guess we'll just have to see if they're able to have another substitute come in, or maybe they'll have to find an E-sub for their game 3.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how that works there for Shadow Keepers. They have a bit of time here. Shadow Keepers will be facing Raw Rampage in Game 3, and Rampage's game is still going on right now. So we hope that they'll be able to find someone to fill in for their 5th player there. Best wishes to them. And on the side of MG Blaze here, they continue their undefeated run through the spring season of Coalition League. And for Game 3, they will be facing Vengeful Reapers, the new team here who has replaced Kirby Meatstars, who have decided to leave the spring season partway through. So we'll have to see how that goes when they play the new team on the block and whether or not they can continue their winning ways. And that should hopefully be a good matchup. So we'll be heading into intermission here, and hopefully, when we come back, we'll watch that Game 3 there between MG Blaze and Vengeful Reapers, and yeah, hopefully we'll get some surprises there. See you guys soon.